Good morning, students. Today we are discussing about children's rights sustainable development. Children's rights sustainable development. First one goals, no poverty. First one goals, no poverty. End poverty in all its forms everywhere. Poverty denies children their fundamental rights to health, protection, education, and much more. Without global action, child poverty is likely to enhance social inequality and cut off the most vulnerable girls and boys from the services they needed to survive and thrive. An estimated 1 million children worldwide lack necessities as basic as nutrition or clean water of them. Over 300 million live in extreme poverty. UNICEF invests in improving social services so that all children can have their basic needs met. Second one, zero hunger. End hunger, achieve food security and improved nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. Good nutrition is the bedrock of child development. Well nourished children are better able to grow and learn, to participate in their communities, and to be resilient in the face of diseases, disaster, and other emergencies. UNICEF work to lower and the barriers to good nutrition, which a focus on preventing all forms of malnutrition. We do this to ensure that all children have the nutritious and affordable diets they need to reach their full potential. Third one, food health and well-being. Ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. Tremendous progress in child and maternal health has been achieved over the past decades. More babies today live to celebrate their fifth birthday, while fewer mothers lost their lives during pregnancy and childbirth. But millions of women and children are still dying from cases that can be prevented with quality health care. UNICEF works around the world to keep children safe from diseases and illness by strengthening health system in communities and across nations. Fourth one, quality education. Ensure inclusive and equitable equality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. The right to education means the right to learn, but children worldwide and unable to attend school or to develop basic reading and math skills. For various reasons, poverty remains one of the most obstinate barriers. Children living through political instability, conflict, or natural disaster are also more likely to be cut off from schooling, as are those with disabilities or from ethnic minorities. In some countries, education opportunities for girls remain severely limited. UNICEF focuses on equality and inclusion to provide all children, no matter who they are, where they live, or how much their family earns, with quality learning opportunities from early childhood through adolescence. Fifth one, the gender equality. Achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. Gender-based violence, female genital mutilation, child marriage and education denied. Gender inequality takes many harmful forms. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Gender equality is a fundamental human right. It is also a precondition for economic growth and prosperity. UNICEF works across the world so that all children enjoy the same resources, opportunities, and protection. No matter their gender, we focus on programs that empower girls and young women, on positive patterning, and on data analysis to help governments address barriers to gender equality. Sixth one, clean water and sanitation. Ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Contaminated water and poor sanitation are among the leading causes of death for children under 5. Without safe water, sanitation and hygiene, children face an increased risk of preventable diseases and malnutrition. They are also less likely to attend school. UNICEF works to bring clean water and proper sanitation and hygiene facilitation to homes, schools, and health centers so that children can grow and learn safely. Seventh one, affordable and clean energy. Ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. Children worldwide face a host of environmental hazards related to unclean energy like polluted air, con- contaminated water, and toxic fumes. Access to clean, affordable energy is critical to a child health, but renewable energy can also improve access to water through solar powered pumps or access to learning through off grid lighting and connectivity. UNICEF works with a partner to support sustainable energy solutions that improve children's health and development. Decent work and economic growth, promote inclusive and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. Some 1.8 billion young people are on the brink of adulthood, and nearly 60% of them are projected to lack the skills they need to work and through by 2030. UNICEF and partners through Generation Unlimited are on a mission to skill the world's young people and connect them to opportunities for employment, entrepreneurship, and social impact. Industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. UNICEF has a long history of innovating in humanitarian and development context, whether it's deploying drones to deliver life-saving medicines, using cryptocurrencies to hook schools to the internet, harnessing solar power to bring water to villages, or developing chatbots that keep young people connected to emergency information. We do what it takes to find scalable solutions for widespread challenges. Reduce inequality within and among countries around the world. Children are cut off from essential care and services on the basis of race, gender, disability, language, religion, and ethnicity. Without investment to shield children from the lifelong consequences of discrimination and exclusion, progress towards equality will stall. UNICEF helps countries build social protection systems that reach the children most at risk to help ensure every child help gets an equitable change in life. Lavador, sustainable cities and communities. Make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. More than half of the world's population live in urban areas with hundreds of millions confined to slums of informal settlements. Children living in slums are often cut off from essential services like health care, education, and sanitation. UNICEF partners with urban communities to bring quality services to children in informal settlements and with national governments to help plan and finance child friendly public spaces. Responsible consumption and protection. Ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns, global consumption and production trends, deplete valuable natural resources and create toxic waste. Children are the least responsible for environmental degradation, yet I will bear the greatest burden of its impact, mostly in the form of health and developmental issues. Decades of evidence shows that widespread behavior change, such as recycling and using less plastic, often begins with children. That's why UNICEF engages young people to promote responsible, climate friendly consumption behaviors and to set an example for their communities. That in climate action. Take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact. Every child on the planet is already affected by climate change. Natural disasters, environmental reduction, and biodiversity loss cut children off from nutritious food, clean air and safe water. They lead to dangerous diseases, outbreaks, and destroy the shelter, healthcare, and education systems. Girls and boys need to thrive. The climate crisis is a child rights crisis. Children make up half of the world population, but they bear no responsibility for the greenhouse gas emission, deforestation, and other hazardous practices harming our environment. 14 point Life below water. Conserve and sustainably use the oceans, source, and marine resources for sustainable development. The impact of climate change are being felt around the world, and for many children, a change in climate is felt through a change in water. In times of drought or of flood in areas where the soil level has risen or where snow has unseasonably melted, children lost the water they depend on. Nearly a quarter of the world population lives in low-lying coastal areas or small island developing states where rising soil level has already rendered water undrinkable as salt water, unfiltered as freshwater sources. UNICEF brings clean water and safe hygiene into communities impacted by water scarcity, especially in the most climate vulnerable countries on the planet. Life on land. Protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainably manage forest, combat desertification, halt and reverse land degradation, and halt biodiversity loss. The widespread the destruction of the natural world threatens the food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe. Across the globe, children are standing up against land reproduction, biodiversity loss, and climate change. UNICEF commands young climate activities and creates platforms on which they can build their moments for peace and prosperity. 16. Peace and justice and strong institution. Promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development. Provide access to justice for all and build effective, accountable and inclusive institutions at all levels. No child should be exposed to violence, abuse and neglect. Yet millions of children worldwide face violence at home or at school, in their communities or online. Violence takes many forms: emotional, physical, sexual, and its effects can last a lifetime. Governments offer the first line of defense for children at risk. Birth registration systems that give children legal claim to vital social services, equitable justice system, and other forms of child protection. UNICEF works to end the multiple kinds of violence children face around the world by helping governments build stronger child protection systems, including by supporting health, social work, justice, and law enforcement programs, and challenging existing norms related to violence, exploitation, and abuse. 17. Partnership for the goals. Strengthen the means of implementation and rehabilitation. The Global Partnership for Sustainable Development. Partnerships are critical to achieve results for every child. Everyone has a role to play in advancing the SDGs. UNICEF's ability to support and empower children and their families depends on our patrons who provide critical resources that enable us to reach children. Wherever they are, we work with a broad range of partners at the global, regional, country, and local levels across the public and private sectors. Sustainable Development Goals. The Sustainable Development Goals were adopted by all United Nations member states as a universal call to action to end poverty and protect the planet by 2013. They are built on the principles of leaving no one behind. The SDGs replace the Millennium Development Goal, which had started a global effort in 2000 to tackle the indignity of poverty. The MDGs established measurable, universally agreed objectives for tackling extreme poverty and hunger, preventing deadly diseases, and expanding primary education to all children, among other development priorities. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals and 169 targets are integrated, are indivisible, and balance the three dimensions of sustainable development: the economic, social, and environmental. The TNBSC aligns with the SDGs, particularly Goal for 14 and Goal 16, highlighting its commitment to ensuring quality education, child protection, and inclusion. Community-centric approach. The policy emphasizes the importance of community-based mechanism for child protection, participation, and well-being. This approach recognizes the critical role of families, local bodies, and civil society organizations in creating a safe and nurturing environment for children. prevention and intervention. By addressing issues such as child marriage, child labor, abuse, and neglect, the TNBC takes a proactive stance towards preventing harm to children. Simultaneously, it outlines intervention and support mechanisms to address existing challenges effectively. Establishment of UNICEF. World War II caused an untold suffering to thousands of children. On 11 December 1946, the United Nations General Assembly proclaimed a new ethic of protection and care of children, establishing the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund to respond to the millions of displaced and refugee children deprived of shelter, fuel, and food in the aftermath of World War II. In October 1953, the General Assembly decided to continue UNICEF mandate on a permanent basis, reaffirming the border terms of references established for the fund in 1915. The words international and emergency are dropped from the official name, which now becomes the United Nations Children's Fund. But the original acronym UNICEF is by now too well known to drop. During the 1970s, UNICEF grew into a vocal advocate of children's rights. During the 1980s, UNICEF assisted the UN Commission on Human Rights in the drafting of the Convention of the Rights of the Child. UNICEF has been working in India since 1949. It is the largest UN organization in the country. Country Program Action Plan 2013 to 2017 between the Government of India and UNICEF has been announced. The overall goal of the 2013 to 2017 country program is to advance the right of children, adolescents, and women to survival, growth, development, participation, and protection by reducing inequalities based on caste, ethnicity, gender, poverty, region, and religion. It has been formulated within the context of 12th Five-Year Plan and the United Nations Development Action Framework and aims to accelerate progress towards the achievement of the Millennium Development Goals, building on over 60 years of collaboration. UNICEF will continue to be an active partner of the government in striving to achieve children's rights in India. Some abbreviations in explanation. UNICRP, United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. UNICRP, United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. TNBSC, Tamil Nadu State Policy for Children. Tamil Nadu State Policy for Children. CHNS stands for Community Health Care Workers. CHNS stands for Community Health Care Workers. CPS, Child Protective Services. CPS, Child Protective Services. MEPA, Multi-Ethnic Placement Act. Multi-Ethnic Placement Act. MEPA, Multi-Ethnic Placement Act. CAPTA, Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act. Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act. ASFA, Adoption and Safe Families Act. ASFA stands for Adoption and Safe Families Act. DRC, Declaration of Rights of the Child. Declaration of Rights of the Child. Declaration of Rights of the Child. IMR, Infant Mortality Rate. Infant Mortality Rate. GHI Global Hunger Index, GHI Global Hunger Index, GHI Global Hunger Index. MMS Midday Meal Scheme, MMS Midday Meal Scheme, ICDS Integrated Child Development Services, Integrated Child Development Services, Integrated Child Development Services. MDGs Millennium Development Goals, MDGs Millennium Development Goals. SDGs Sustainable Development Goals. In the SDGs explanation, Sustainable Development Goals. Okay. Children's rights, sustainable development, 17 points. First point, no poverty. Second one, the zero hunger. Second one, the zero hunger. Third one, the good health and well-being. Fourth one, the quality education. Fifth one, gender equality. Sixth one, clean water and sanitation. Clean water and sanitation. Seventh one, the affordable and clean energy, affordable and clean energy. Eighth one, the decent work and economic growth. Eighth one, the decent work and economic growth. Decent work and economic growth. Ninth one, the industry innovation and infrastructure. Industry innovation and infrastructure. 10th one, the reduce inequalities, reduce inequalities. 11th one, sustainable cities and communities, sustainable cities and communities, sustainable cities and communities. 12th one, the responsible consumption and production, responsible consumption and production. 13th one, the climate action, 13th one, the climate action. 14 on the life below water, 14 on the life below water. 15 life on land. 16 on the peace, justice and strong institution, peace, justice and strong institution. 17 on the partnership for the goals, partnership for the goals. Okay, sustainable development goals. The Sustainable Development Goals were adopted by all United Nations member states as a universal call to action to end poverty and protect the planet by 2013. The Sustainable Development built on the principles of leaving no one behind. They are built on the principles of leaving no one behind. The SDGs replaced the Millennium Development Goals, which had started a global effort in 2000 to tackle the indignity of poverty. The MDGs established measurable, universally agreed objectives for tackling extreme poverty and hunger, preventing deadly diseases and expanding primary education to all children, among other development priorities. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals and 169 targets are integrated and indivisible and balance the three dimensions of sustainable development, the economic, social and environmental. The policy emphasizes the importance of community-based mechanisms for child protection, participation and well-being. This approach recognizes the critical role of families, local bodies and civil society organizations in creating a safe and nurturing environment for children. By addressing issues such as child marriages, child labor, abuse and neglect, the TNPSC take a proactive stance towards preventing harm to children. Simultaneously, it outlines intervention and support mechanisms to address existing challenges effectively. The policy emphasizes the importance of community-based mechanism for child protection, participation, and well-being. This approach recognizing the critical role of families, local bodies, and civil society organizations. Okay, students, thank you.